because it established also that more Australians across every age group support nuclear than oppose it. 52% of 18 to 24-year-olds supported, only 19 opposed. 47% of those aged 25 to 54 support building nuclear plants, only 25% opposed, and 62% of those aged 55 and over support building nuclear power plants. In other words, the people in the parliament are not representing the electorate.
Well, you're right, and the way I would describe it is real Australians know the score. They know what's happening to our country, and they say, look, if you want to cut emissions, if that's your thing, if you believe that that's what public policy should be focused on, then at least we need to have a debate about nuclear. It needs to be on the table, in addition to the reliability and affordability that it can provide. And what it also shows, Alan, I think, is quite often young Australians, we think that they're lost. We think that there's no hope. We think that they've, completely swallowed the narrative of the Green left. But I think this shows that there is hope, and there's lots of sensible young Australians, which, as you say, a majority support Australia building nuclear. Don't forget, that's despite decades of negativity, almost scare campaign, information being out there. So I think this is a cause for hope.
A one-sided public argument. No recognition given on the other side, all renewables. And again, that poll, coming back to it, it cuts across all income groups. Now, I note 71% of Australians earning $100,000 and over, 71%, support building nuclear plants, only 16% oppose. 55% of Australians earning between $45,000 and $100,000 support building nuclear plants, only 22% oppose. And 49% of Australians earning less than $45,000 support building nuclear plants, 25% oppose. So, I mean, we've got this net zero emissions nonsense by 2050, and you're saying this energy crisis has been brought about by the net zero emissions 2050 target, and it can only be solved by reliable, affordable baseload power from coal and nuclear. I mean, I make this point 1,000 times, and I'm sick of saying it. I can give them an energy policy in one sentence. The energy must be available, it must be reliable, and it must be affordable. And renewables are none of those three.
They're none of those three. Yep. I mean, both sides of politics remain committed to net zero, and it's time for Peter Dutton and Littleproud to listen to the real Australians. They know what is going on. Don't worry about the teals. Don't worry about these high-income, wealthy, university-educated elites that are living in Kooyong or Wentworth or wherever. They're going to be fine. They can take care of themselves. They've got enough money to deal with their electricity bills. They're not working in the coal sector. They're not working in manufacturing. They've got safe and secure employment in the public service or as lawyers or in big business. Yes. They're completely looked after. You need to think about the real Australians in the outer suburbs and in the regions of this country who are incurring the cost of this. I mean, if you're talking about a 5, 10, 15% increase to your electricity bills, that is a massive deal to someone, a family with 3 kids, with a mortgage in the outer suburbs running a small business. How are they meant to get on?
Well, what about
these are the people who know we need coal and nuclear.
I mean, what about the schizophrenia, though, amongst people who are right in the centre of this? I mean, what do you make of the comments by the chairperson of the Energy Security Board, Anna Collier, who's acknowledged that renewables can't provide the baseload power that Australia needs? She had this meeting yesterday with Chris Bowen, the Federal Minister, and State Energy Ministers, and they resolved to, quote, force retailers to pay generators to invest in power projects that can quickly be called upon when the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining. But it can't be nuclear. Can it only be coal and gas? If we're going to force retailers to pay for the Energy Security Board's plan to make sure we've got reliable supply, it means higher energy prices, doesn't it?
It does. And Alan, they've been mugged by reality. I mean, this is net zero in action. This is what you've been saying for many years. This is what we've been arguing, that if you force unreliable wind and solar onto the energy market, you're going to get these consequences. If you ban coal, if you ban gas, if you ban nuclear, if you make it impossible for the exploration to take place and you're subsidising billions of dollars for intermittent wind and solar, this is the inevitable
they're forcing them out of the market. They're forcing them out of the market.